but we can only combine them using a carder or a slicker brush. It doesn't really matter which one you use. That way, the fibers get mixed together and we can no longer lay them out on the piece in the same way. And then we do it in little clouds. Now I'll show you how it's done. See, I made this one. This is a mix of fibers. There's viscose, nettle or flax, bamboo and silk here. By the way, combining natural fibers like these silk fibers, for example, are even finer than viscose. Not all of them are like that. Some are so airy that when you lay them out, they just float above your dress. And look, we won't be able to lay this out in strands, right? So in that case, we have the option to lay out the viscose only in little clouds. We take it in our hands like this, fluff it up just like before, right? And we fill the whole space. And this is what we end up with. The cloud method. In little clumps like this, yes, like dead clouds or clumps. Clump on clump or cloud on cloud. Cloud on cloud. And this way, we fill the entire space and we get this playful, multicolored texture. But in this case, we don't need that. First of all, this will be the inside. And secondly, you can see that with the Pasmoshki method, it's much faster to do. This layout, yes, and there's really no point in making it more complicated, although I noticed this is such an interesting color, beautiful. Sometimes you get the option of reversible dresses. Felted ones? Yes, of course, it happens because we don't have a seam. So, in principle, you could wear it inside out. If you want to switch things up, the inside will be well made and beautiful. No problem, just turn it inside out and you have two dresses. Let's start wetting it. The next stage of the process, for this, I took some warm water. Always work with warm water, it works better with wool. I added just a little bit of detergent there because I won't be washing the fabric of my piece with soap afterwards. So this soapy solution should be enough for me. And I start pouring the soapy water over the entire surface of our dress. But you always smell so incredibly nice, well, let me tell you. That's a truly magical and enchanting quality that sets you apart. I know it's something quite simple on its own, but when it is combined and intertwined with the soft and natural wool, it truly transforms and becomes incredibly and wonderfully fragrant, releasing a delightful and captivating aroma. Look, when you start pouring, make sure to, well, you need a lot of water, because keep in mind that you have layers of silk, wool and viscose here. Viscose actually acts as a kind of barrier between the wool and the water, you know. That's why you need to pour water over it very, very thoroughly. Again, I'll show you why in a moment. Remember before, after pouring the water like this, right? Do you remember I used to take a mesh net? Yes, right. And I would place that mesh net on top of our piece. And then I would meticulously soap it up and additionally with great care, rub it thoroughly over the entire surface. Now we are going to be working with a completely different material, a new and distinct substance, and I am going to proceed to do all of this right now, at this very moment, using button film. You know, I tried this method and I really liked it. It has a lot of advantages. First of all, of course, the machines, the vibrating sanders, they can all be different. and there's a chance that somewhere water could short circuit with electricity and you could end up with a very unpleasant situation. Secondly, when we work with bubble wrap, we don't have that. We don't get that crazy swamp all over our piece. And soap suds aren't splashing everywhere. Thirdly, our bubble wrap comes with, and the bubble wrap is placed on top, and because of this, the fibers come into contact in a more proper way. And let's say, fourthly, it's much more convenient to flip large pattern pieces when using bubble wrap. We stick it on, flip it over, remove the bottom layer, and continue working. It's very convenient. So now we're going to try all of this together. So, are you saying that this bubble wrap is suitable for all types of felting? Absolutely. It's actually the perfect option for working. Thank you. You know what else is convenient about this method of working with the film? If you remember, when we were laying out the heat pad, we mostly laid it on dry wood. If we placed it incorrectly, it was impossible to move it because the whole layout would lift up and that was it. But with the film, you see, we've already vetted our piece very well, so now we can move it however we want. We can lift it, lower it, direct it wherever we need next. And that's very convenient to work with. That's why I really like this method right now. There's no limit to perfection. Yes, of course. And from these, little things like that, this is where the true convenience truly comes into play in our daily work. Now, we've carefully blotted it with a soft, absorbent towel, then meticulously spread the liquid evenly across the surface, and are now ready to start the buzzing process. And I can tell you, working in this particular manner is simply a pure pleasure and a joy. Do these little bubbles pop or not? Number, in this case, no. Look, here we go. We don't have any moisture. We can take our time with it. Please don't forget that you should only place the machine along the edge of the pattern. Yes, we leave these protruding wool fibers and this area where the raglan is as well. Don't go over it too much, just pass nearby, we'll work on it more later. Look at what we get. Many girls cover this part. They cover this surface not with bubble wrap, but with regular film. Then they put the machine on it and say that the film starts to move around. And the wool shifts and the layout gets deformed. Bubble wrap doesn't allow that to happen. It actually, it grips your piece and doesn't move. And even if we used to work with the machine before, remember we put it on and it was so powerful that our wool, it would just immediately settle down like this. Bubble wrap doesn't let that happen, it just won't allow it. And your layout stays exactly the way it was. It's very convenient. Amazing! truly beautiful, isn't it? I genuinely think you accomplish it much faster now. And it also seems to me that the entire process is considerably quicker. First of all, the nature of the contact is a bit different. And secondly, there's not that mass of liquid constantly flying everywhere, and you're not just standing there soaked in water.